Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a little more personal and honestly just a conversation. And the topic is small circle or lots of friends. I feel like a lot of people experience this but don't really talk about it enough, so I'm gonna share my thoughts and maybe you'll relate it too. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's talk. Growing up, I was never really the type of person with a huge friend group, and I always admired those people who seem to have childhood best friends, group chats that never die, and all of that. And honestly, sometimes I wondered if there was something wrong with me for not having that kind of connection. But I realized that for some people, friendships don't come in big groups. Sometimes they come in phases, in moments, and people who stay for a season and still matter deeply to you. One thing I've struggled with a lot is keeping connections after life changes. Like when school ends or when you stop seeing someone every single day. Suddenly, friendship becomes about just who texts first, making plans, checking in, and somehow that feels so much harder than when things happen naturally. And don't get me wrong, I know that's part of caring about someone. And that's actually my point, because when it was hard for me to keep doing those things consistently, I started questioning myself. Like, wait, did I never really care about this person? And that thought made me feel so guilty. Like, if I wasn't texting every day or constantly checking in, maybe I was failing as a friend. But now I'm starting to realize that sometimes life just pulls people in different directions, and that doesn't automatically mean that the love or the connection was fake. Sometimes people care deeply and still struggle with maintaining relationships in the way others expect them to. And also, social media makes this feeling even worse because we constantly see people surrounded by huge friend groups, going out every weekend, posting birthday dinners with 15 people at the table. Meanwhile, some of us are sitting there with like two close friends, wondering if we're doing something wrong. There's something really special about having a small circle, about having a few people who truly know you, people you can sit in silence with, and people who've seen different versions of you and still stayed. Because maybe friendships doesn't always have to look loud to be meaningful. I'm also learning that maintaining friendships is a skill. Some people grow up naturally knowing how to stay connected, how to constantly reach out, how to balance life and relationships. And for others, it's a little more difficult. Sometimes you care deeply about people, but you don't always know how to keep the connection alive. And that loneliness doesn't just affect you. They might think that the distance means you stopped caring, when in reality you were just struggling to express it or maintain the connection in the way they need it. And I think that's one of the saddest parts about friendships sometimes. Two people can genuinely care about each other and still slowly drift apart. Not because there was no love, but because life, communication, timing, or even emotional capacity got in the way. But I think it's important to remember that struggling with connection doesn't make you selfish or unlovable. It just makes you human. So if you're someone who has a small circle or feels like friendships come and go too easily, I just want you to know that you're not the only one and you're not alone. And maybe instead of focusing on how many people stay, we should focus more on how genuine the connection feels when they do. And yeah, I guess that's everything I wanted to share with you guys for today. If you relate to any of this, I'd really love to hear your thoughts in the comments, because sometimes it's comforting to know the other people feel the same way too. Thank you so much for listening. I'm really excited to keep making more videos like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.